Hello and welcome back. Now, currently in the game we have three Herrschers. The last one is Herrscher of Thunder, and of course, first one was Herrscher of the Void, and second one is Herrscher of the Risen. Back when Herrscher of the Risen was first released, she did change the balance in the game a lot. She was the most powerful Herrscher in the game and pretty much the most powerful character in the game. And well, since the new Herrscher has been released, I'm quite curious to see if anything is changed on the power level. And after that, I'll also test her against Herrscher the Void, just to see how she still holds up after 1 year after being released. And well, as you can see, now this character has two main weapons. She has the pre-arm weapon and she has her normal signature weapon. And I'll use both for this test, one round with the signature weapon and one round with the pre-arm weapon. And then we will see pretty much the real thing behind that pre-arm weapon. How much performance does it give? Now, Herrscher the Risen does not have a pre-arm weapon yet. She just has her signature weapon and signature set. And well, it will be interesting to see how she will hold up against Herrscher of the Thunder. Even though I do feel this character got weak over time for some odd reason. I don't know. That's just me. I do have the character on the main server ever since her release, and I did notice her performance going down for some reason. I don't know. But well, this is Herrscher Thunder. This is her gear, and first will be the pre-arm weapon, and then I'll be switching back to the normal weapon. Well then, I think it's time to start. Now, I usually like to start these with Abyss, and luckily I am currently in Mirade, in the highest difficulty Abyss. I think the difficulty is 420, I'm not quite sure. The difficulty is 420. And well, I'll give both of these characters 3 minutes to fight, and then we can see how much did both of them progress during those 3 minutes. Well then, first floor and first wave of enemies. Let's jump in and let's start. Now, this character is a psychic, while Herrscher of the Reason is a mecha. So there's a difference in the types. So of course, one will be better against mechas, and one will be more effective against biologics. So that's one thing to note. And also, it is interesting to note that both of these characters are elementals. Both use elemental damage, and of course, both are Herrschers, so that's pretty much one of their common things. Now, sadly, the current Abyss is pretty much only lighting zone, so it would be kind of weird to test out a ice damage dealer in a lighting themed Abyss. But well, I guess I'll have to do it anyway, so keep in mind this is currently pretty much a little bit favoring the lightning characters more than it favors any other class, and of course any other damage type. So that's the only difference for this current Abyss. I was patient enough to wait, and sadly no physical buff is currently in Abyss, so I had to settle with this. So any big difference can be also contributed towards the weather favoring lighting, but again, it will not affect too much, since Memorial Arena scores are going to be also very important for this. Well, I think this is the second wave, and 1 minute and 37 seconds into this. So she did pretty much wipe the floor with the first wave without much of a problem. And now the biologics are here, and I can tell you she did do a very good job with taking out the first wave of enemies. And for a psychic, she's definitely doing some really good damage against these biologic type enemies, and that's where her brute force DPS comes from. She does a lot of damage with her ultimate. In my opinion, a bit too much damage, but I guess it can be helped. And soon the 3 minute mark will be, and I think I might hit the third floor in these 3 minutes. I'm not quite sure, but so far she's doing an amazing job at taking out these enemies without much of a problem. And well, they're on their last HP bar, so that's also important to note. 2 minutes and 40 seconds almost, and they are running out of their last HP bar. So it is good to memorize how much damage she did against these biologics, and she did a very good job at taking them out actually in these 3 minutes. Well, 3 minute mark is up in a couple seconds, and there we go, it's up. Now, time to hop on Herrscher of the Reason and pretty much give her the same treatment. And of course, I'll show you the gear first to neutralize any suspicion. There you go, as you can see, still signature gear, still max level. Everything is pretty much maxed out. Even the elf that I have is also maxed out. So pretty much both these characters are fighting against one another while they are maxed out. So there we go. Okay, let's jump in. Everything is set for ice now, and let's see how she will do in this abyss currently. Now again, I know the weather is favoring lightnings, but well, it can be helped, and it will be also a simulation of what might happen in the live version of the game when it gets released. Since I know that everything will be a lighting zone when this version comes live, and pretty much I think every single player knows this by now, so it is kind of a realistic test in realistic circumstances, since people will use this character still even after Herrscher of Thunder has been released, and well, it will be important to know how she will perform in the zone. Okay, well, I can tell you the damage output of this character is way less than the damage output on Herrscher of the Thunder, partially due to the weather, I know, partially due to the weather, and partially due to the, well, partially because Herrscher of the Thunder is actually doing a lot more damage than Herrscher of the Reason. Actually, it's a lot more damage, and she's basically outclassing Herrscher of the Reason big time, if I were to be honest, based pretty much on my personal experience playing these two characters. Well, 1 minute and 15 seconds in, and if I remember correctly, when I was playing with Herrscher of the Thunder, I was already at the second wave, so she is pretty much behind Herrscher of Thunder a full minute. And that's also very interesting to note, since I'm still fighting the first wave here with this character, of course. And for some reason the lock does not want to lock on the proper enemy, so it locked on the Honkai beast. And there we go, there goes my my damage. And this game still does not have manual aim. That's kind of weird. I thought the game had manual aim, but apparently it doesn't. Well then, 2 minutes in, and I'm still fighting the first wave of enemies. This is already big difference, at least double difference between Herrscher of the Thunder and Herrscher of the Reason. And that is a significant difference in damage output, a difference that is, I don't know, it is kind of making Herrscher of the Reason pointless, if I were to be honest. That's pretty much based on my personal experience currently, since she is literally behind a full minute in this abyss. Of course, I know, partially due to the zone and partially due to the sheer difference in power between the Herrscher of Thunder and of course Herrscher of the Reason. And if I were to be honest, I don't quite like this difference. Again, the difference between these two characters is too big, way too big, and they are both Herrschers, and people did spend a lot of money for this character also that I'm currently playing. And if that character gets obsolete that quickly, well, I don't know. I mean, you can still use her for the ice elemental zone, and I'm definitely going to test her out in that zone again. And of course, I'll do the same with Herrscher Thunder, just to see which character will be more effective at which zone. Is Herrscher Thunder going to outperform Herrscher the Reason in the ice zone? That's the big question now, since if you remember, you could use Herrscher the Reason back at anything when she was released, because she basically had more power than any other character in the game, and pretty much she did dominate the game for months. And yeah, that's interesting. Well then, I did switch the weapons, and now I'm using the normal. I'm now using the normal signature weapon for Herrscher of Thunder, And well, again, the damage output is still a lot greater than the damage output on Herrscher of the Reason, at least in this situation. Of course, I know it is a lighting zone, so it does favor lighting characters a little bit more. But again, it is also a simulation of what might happen when the game gets released. Since again, I will repeat myself, everyone knows when the game, when this update gets released, everything will favor lighting characters for at least 4 weeks in a row. So it will be very important to know how Herrscher of the Reason will perform in the lighting zone, in the lighting map, or should I say, in the lighting weather. When, for example, if someone doesn't have Herrscher of Thunder, since not everyone will get this character, and people might not get lucky at gacha, and they might not manage to get the character in time. So it is also very important to know how Herrscher of the Reason will perform in the ice map as a Herrscher. It is very important to know that, and so far I do not like how she did perform in the lighting weather, since the difference is night and day between these two characters, and that's based on my short time playing the beta currently. You cannot miss the difference between the characters' performances here. And again, I'm fine with new characters. I'm not fine with making all old characters obsolete. That's something that I don't like, and I'll never like making old characters obsolete, since it will force people to get new characters every update, which isn't quite productive for the player. But anyway, back to this, and again, 2 minutes, and I'm already fighting the second wave, and again, I'm doing more damage to. Actually, I'm doing more damage to these biologics than I was doing with Herrscher of the Reason, which is very interesting, since supposedly this character should be weak against these. Should be weak against these biologics, but apparently it doesn't matter, since she is still melting them a lot faster than Herrscher of the Reason, which is very odd. Very odd indeed. Well, hitting the 3-minute mark very soon, and again, even with this weapon, Herrscher of the Thunder did outperform Herrscher of the Reason on, of course, on the lighting weather. Very curious to see how she will compete with her on the ice zone, and I'm definitely going to have a part 2 of this with the ice weather, because I'm really curious to see how Herrscher of Thunder will perform against Herrscher of the Reason in that case. And well, now I think it's time to jump on Memorial Arena. Enough with Abyss. That was a clear victory for Herrscher of Thunder, actually, if I were to be honest. Again, partially because of the weather, and again partially because of the sheer differences between these two characters. And even the elf is actually more powerful than the ice elf, which is very, very odd. Well then, this will be a neutral boss, pretty much a boss that will have neutral advantage or disadvantage against both of these characters. And well, let's see how she will perform against this boss. Again, using the pre-arm weapon, the 6-star weapon on this character for the first test, and then I'll use the normal signature weapon for the second one. And well, let's see. So far, yeah, she is doing a lot of damage, and the first phase of the boss will end in, well, it ended at 33 seconds. Okay, it took me 33 seconds to end the first phase of the boss battle here. And now, let's see how many seconds it will take me to clear the second phase, and of course, to clear the entirety of the boss. And again, sheer brutal damage output from this character. She is absolutely dominating the game currently, at least in the beta. Very, very powerful, and again, I don't know how should I approach this, but I am getting the character anyway. And on my main account, I'll definitely compare them while they're S versus S, since I think that's also very important. And of course, it will be a real-world usage, because that will be a live server that I play on. Well then, is the boss dead yet? No, it's not. Okay, 1 minute and 22 seconds. Well, 1 minute and 24 seconds to kill the first round of the boss with Herrscher of the Thunder, using the signature equipment and of course the pre-arm weapon. Okay, and it's 28,000 points. Alright, no problem. Let's jump on Herrscher of the Reason. Again, everything maxed out. Again, everything is maxed out. Gear is signature. And again, the elf is the ice elf, and the support character is a universal elemental support character, pretty much supporting all elementals in the game. Well then, it took me 33 seconds to kill the first phase. Let me see how long it will take me to clear the first phase of this boss. I have to say, I did notice something very, very odd. The missiles on Herrscher of the Reason started to miss their target a lot lately, and that wasn't the case when she was released. I remember her missiles hitting targets dead on, despite how they moved, so that's a unexpected change that I did notice, but alright, I'll let it slide, just this time, but not anymore. And 35 seconds in, well, she's already late in killing the boss. Very much late actually. 40 seconds, well, 41 seconds, that's a that's a almost 9-second difference between the bosses, which is quite significant. Okay, second phase of the boss is active, and let's see. Well, the final boss, I mean the final phase of the boss is still active, and let's see what will happen. Well, actually, no, I'm wrong. It's not the final phase, or is it? Oh, it is. All right, it is the final phase. Okay, my bad. Well, let's see what will happen, and well, I do sense a lower score than usual. That's not gonna end well for this character at all. I don't like where this is going. 1 minute and 25 seconds and the boss is still alive. Okay. And I still have more than 1 bar left. Oh my god, the difference is enormous. Literally, the difference is ×2. And of course I get stuck. Okay, fair enough. Well, my fault for not killing it in time. Well then, if she had enough DPS as Herrscher of the Thunder, she wouldn't be stuck in that time lock there, but again, 1 minute and 54 seconds. That's a massive difference. Yep, that's a massive difference. Quite, I did expect a difference, but this difference is kind of shocking. Not gonna lie, kind of shocking. Well then, oh my god, did I actually use the non-pre-arm weapon for the first run? Well, I think I did. Oh my god, the difference is... Okay, well, that's a shocker. I wasn't even aware that I was using the normal weapon, the normal signature weapon, not the pre-arm. Oh my god, this will be... Yep, this will be... Okay. I expect 29,000 points now. The difference is... Oh man, 23 seconds. Are you kidding me? 23 seconds for the first phase. Yep, I'm out. I am out of this. Yeah, this is actually getting ridiculous. When I thought when Herrscher the Reason was first released, I'll be definitely 1000% honest with you. When that character was released, when I saw the sheer power that she has, I thought that they will never do this again. I thought that they will never release a character that will be broken as that again. Well, I was wrong. They released an even more broken character. My god, this character is... I think this sets a new record of being broken. I think this is the record of the most broken character in the game, actually, if I were to be dead honest with you. 1 minute and 14 seconds compared to 1 minute and 54 seconds. And you tell me if that's not a big difference. Oh man. Well then, time to jump on something else. Like I said, I kind of wanna see how Herrscher Thunder will perform against Herrscher of the Reason in a weather that will, for example, favor the ice characters, and I think Helmar will be absolutely a perfect opportunity to test that on. And well, on Helmer I'll be first using Herrscher of the Reason, because Helmer is weak against ice, and I'm really curious to see the difference that we will have against this boss using these two characters. And I pretty much expect a similar difference when I would, for example, play the Ice Abyss, Ice Weather Abyss, and again I'll be waiting for that patiently. I'll be definitely waiting for that patiently, since I'm very curious to see how that will work out. And okay, let's see what will happen. Well then, oh my bad, it's not Helmaru, it is this boss. Oh, I actually forgot that I needed to play this boss with this character again for a rematch. Okay, well, that took a decade to complete again. And like I said, after this I'll be pretty much jumping again at the Helmaru, since I want to test this boss, I want to test this character, these two characters, I want to test them out against Helmaru, when the element will favor a ice character in that case. And again, I still see a big difference. The rematch here did not help this character a lot. I actually got I think I'll get a lower score, but I'm not quite sure. Let's find out, I guess. And of course, after this, quite curious to see how Herrscher the Thunder will perform against Helmaru. Pretty much a boss that has ice damage weakness, and pretty much is neutral against anything else. And I guess that will be showing a interesting picture around what we can expect. Well then, let's pop the ultimate, and this boss should die. So 1 minute and 54 seconds was the first one, and this is 1 minute and 48 seconds. Well, couple seconds better, but still not good. Still not good compared to Herrscher of the Thunder. Well then, now it's time to jump on Helmaru, and again I'll be using the pre-arm weapon for this, for the first one, and after that I'll be using the normal signature weapon. And well, I am again ready to be shocked by the scores that I will see here. Well then, let's hop on and let's see. This is also the double S, pretty much double S rank Helmaru, pretty much as usual. Everything is the highest difficulty when I test these things out. And well, that was a massive hit, 10 seconds to kill the first bar. And surprisingly, this character does not take any damage at all. She takes damage so, like, I don't know, it's like she has some form of protection, since so far it's really hard to take damage with this character. And you don't have to focus on evasions a lot, because you don't have to. She can just tank them face on, which is weird. And of course she can heal herself, which pretty much kills the point of any healing character in the game, but I guess healers have been dead for a very long time in this game now. Well, 2 bars left, 45 seconds into the combat here. And I think I'll kill the boss in around 1 minute and maybe 20 seconds, I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find it out. And 29,000 okay. 1 minute. It took me less than a minute to kill this boss with this character. 29,000 points. Well, I can already say rest in peace, Herrscher the Reason, since Herrscher the Reason is getting absolutely dumpstered in the next update. Literally, she's getting to the levels of... Yep, she's getting the same treatment as Herrscher the Void. Imagine my shock. Okay. Let's see. It took me 10 seconds to kill the first bar, by the way. Let's see how many seconds it will take me to kill the bar on this boss this time around. Well, it's actually faster. 8 seconds. Alright, well that's a surprise, I guess. I guess that's what happens when the weather is kind of favoring the ice. When the weather is kind of favoring the ice elementals. Fair enough. I mean, fair enough. I'm not complaining about that at all. Okay, let's see what will happen now. Well, definitely not doing much damage. Compared to Herrscher the Thunder, I'm not doing much damage. If I were to be absolutely dead honest. Not doing much damage at all. And of course, Herrscher of Thunder's weapon skill consumes less SP than her weapon. Actually, no, it's the same. Alright, it's 5 SP for both. Okay, well that's a fair balancing factor, I guess. That's a fair balancing factor. And let's see. So first one was 29,700 points. Let's see how many points I'll get here. Yep, 29,000. Well, that's 600 points less. There we go. Herrscher of Thunder destroying Herrscher of Reason with pre-arm on a boss that has Ice Elemental weakness. Well then, it is... We're back at version update 3.3 again when Herrscher the Reason was released and when Herrscher the Void was getting absolutely destroyed. Well then, how the tides have turned. Well then, let's pop with the normal weapon, and let's see the scores now with the normal weapon. Quite curious to see how she will perform with the normal signature weapon. And well, the damage is lower, obviously lower. And this time around, I think Herrscher the Reason will have only one victory against this character today. Oh my god. Well, I mean, imagine my shock again. Not surprised. Not surprised. But still didn't expect such a massive difference. Well then, there we go. The pre-arm weapon for this character is making Herrscher the Reason getting the same treatment as Herrscher the Void. How the tides turned for that character. Interesting, very interesting. Well then, I guess around 29,100 points. I mean, still in the end it's gonna be around the same, since the sheer brutal power of this character is still gonna make the score be very close to Herrscher the Reason. So, in any way, shape or form, Herrscher of the Thunder won today. She absolutely wiped the floor with Herrscher the Reason, and yikes. I don't like where this is going. I don't like where this is going. Now we can already imagine what the next Herrscher will bring to the game. I can already tell you the next Herrscher will make Herrscher Thunder obsolete, and that's gonna 29,000. Yeah, almost 29,100. And it is actually around the same points as Herrscher of the Reason. Oh my god. It's that close that calling it a victory would be just too desperate. And I don't know. Clearly, Herrscher of the Thunder absolutely wiped the floor with Herrscher of the Reason here. And, well, I call this 1-0 for Herrscher of the Thunder. When the map's getting changed a little bit, I'll definitely do a part 2 because I want to test out Herrscher of the Thunder in the ice zone or in the ice weather. And pretty much, this is a ridiculous result, I guess. Ridiculous differences between the characters, and overall, I guess I'll talk about this more in the next video when I compare them again. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Stay safe and take care.